All right, Lizzy Williamson, Jenna, head coach Scott Rueck. Scott, your opening statement.
Yeah, well, obviously, a tale of two halves. The first half couldn't have gone a whole lot better for us. We made some mistakes in that second quarter defensively, to keep them, I guess, in touch. But offensively, I really liked our aggressiveness, the way we shot the ball, the way the ball moved. And then second half, they just shot lights out, and so got control, and we just couldn't answer. Shots that were going down in the first half didn't go down in the second half. And then they crushed us on the boards in the second half. I think they out-rebounded us by 14 or something. You numbers people can help me with that one. But we were leading the boards, I know, at halftime, and we obviously got beat by, what does that say?
9.
10? 9? Yeah, so out-rebounded us by 13 in the second half. So that's a tough combination when they're going to shoot, 50+% and out-rebound us. I thought we took care of the ball well tonight, and I was relatively pleased with the shots we got. They just made more. And so, tough loss.
Scott, I'm not sure how many 30-point swings you've experienced in a game, maybe ever.
Mm-hmm.
When it involved defensively, particularly in the second half, for as well as they shot, they had a lot of open looks, and there were a lot of collapses there. Mm-hmm. What happened defensively to where one of the most prolific three-point shooting teams in the country got that many clean looks?
Yeah, they're prolific just because of the volume. Percentage-wise, they're shooting 30% in conference. And so I wish I knew. I wish I had an answer. If I had an answer, I would apply the answer. I'm still trying to understand what happened to us last weekend, where we just completely lost our way, and at times anyway. And then today, we just lost our way in the second half, and I'm trying to figure it out. Obviously, we're used to winning here, we're used to competing, and we're used to having a chance to win every night. And this season, there has been some stretches that they're not logical to my brain. This game is not logical to my brain. I don't get it. The way that we shot the ball last week was not logical to my brain. How do you take 50% three-point shooters and nobody can make a shot, for an entire weekend? And then how can you play normal, for 20 minutes tonight and then have everything just go away in the second half for 20 minutes? I don't get it. So I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know if there's an answer to it. I hope there is, but I don't know if I've been a part of. I'm sure I have. 30 years is a long time, but 30 points that's a crazy experience, especially for us to be on this side of it.
In taking a look at the stats, there are a number of them that appear to be remarkably similar. 27-72 for Oregon State for you guys, 29-77 for Santa Clara, 11-16 versus 11-18 for free throws, 33-28 defensive rebounds, 18 personal fouls to 12, not too different, 17-19 assists. But the two numbers that stand out to me are bench points, which is 32 for the Broncos, 18 for Oregon State. And then the three-pointers merely attempted. OSU goes 5-19. Santa Clara goes 14-40. So, if you double OSU's three-point output, just multiply each by 2, 10-38, that equates to winning by 2 points. Which of those do you think was the bigger impact, the more free throws taken by the Broncos or the contributions from the bench?
That's a good question. I think probably, give their bench credit for stepping up. I think Goodchild, hit a huge three against us last year, so I knew if she got a look in this game, it was going down just because she's confident against us. And so they had people step up for them when, their first group was struggling. Certainly, they missed their first 11 shots, or at least 11. I saw it on the board when I was 0 for 11. And so they had people that came off the bench and lifted them, So probably that, I'd say, probably their bench rising gave everybody else confidence.
all things considered, it's a good Laura game for you guys. After she's been kind of quiet in conference play, I'm curious what you make of that and how she kind of been coming along behind the scenes.
She's been doing great. This week we've been kind of just focusing on defining her role offensively and just giving her more consistent reps. We've talked about her playing, two positions for us, and that's a lot. And so getting her the basketball was a focal point, and I thought she did a really nice job. Chloe did a nice job finding her in that second quarter. I think she had 3 3-point plays, something like that in this game. So she's bringing a great effort every day. So I just think all the reps are just adding up, for her to where she's playing extremely confidently.
For the players, a lot can change in 3 games, obviously. It's not long ago, you guys were in sole possession of first place, and now you're in 5th. How do you regroup here to get back to the success y'all were having? Because if not, you're obviously facing a really difficult stretch here ahead of what losing would further mean. So how do you regroup and get back to the winning ways of things?
Yeah, I think we always talk about keeping our circle tight. Nothing breaks our circle, so just having each other's backs no matter how we play. Just talking in the locker room and staying together. And then also another thing we've been talking about is just overcoming doubt and just always being confident. So I think that's just a little dip that we're all trying to overcome right now and just moving on to the next game and keeping our focus.
Yeah, I completely agree. Staying tight. I think as well, not trying to focus too much on wins and losses. Obviously, that is very impactful and means a lot to us, but we just want to play good basketball and we want to show up for each other and for our fans and go out there and execute how we can. So I think that's the most important thing.
With the way Kennedy kind of plays in the lanes, it's very aggressive up there, and it contributes to so much of her success. But she's been in early foul trouble a couple times over the past couple games. I'm curious how you kind of, approach that and how to maybe attempt to minimize those in kind of first half ones, while still allowing her to, really do what she excels at.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. She had 2 in this game that were kind of like recovery, made a mistake, extra effort plays. And so I don't see that as a big issue. I think she's such a competitor. She's just adapting, and I thought she did a nice job in this game adapting to foul trouble. Her third one was kind of a reaction foul, to a miss. But I think that growth just comes with reps. I don't think it's really. I think if you were to take Kennedy's aggressiveness away, that would be a mistake.
All right, thanks, y'all.
Yep.
Thank you. Go Beavs.
Go Beavs.